Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents Vengeance Day. The review we do for the NXT Ring Report are coming up. We review all these matches, including Braun Breaker in his first title defense against Santos Escobar. Did Braun Breaker leave as the NXT champion? You be the judge. Also, too, Carmelo Hayes considered himself the A champion in the secondary title match as he defends his North American Championship against straight to the moon, Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes. It was a match that was built on nutrition, but it paid off. Also, too, women's tag team championship matches online as Toxic Attraction defend their titles against Indy Hartwell and the other girl name. But there's a twist to it, but you have to wait and see when you find out. And kicking off NXT was Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo inside of a 15-foot steel cage. Did Pete Dunne get his revenge on Tony D'Angelo after all D'Angelo did on his co-uppers? We'll talk about that. And the NXT Dusty Rhodes Cup. The Dusty Rhodes Cup right here. The American Dream, baby. See, MSK goes against the Creed brothers in the finals in the Dusty Rhodes fashion. Which tag team will emerge? That's the winners. And speaking of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, breaking news. Cody Rhodes, he has left AEW. Is he bound to come to WWE? Oh, God. Say it isn't so, but it could be a possibility. Now, all this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special Pro Wrestling Show NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get through. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is king. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss anything here. You got a lot going on. You're watching a live look up here. We'll get to Cody Rhodes in a minute. What's going on? The dealings with him. But first, let's get to the NXT Ring Report. NXT right here. NXT right here. Tony D'Angelo went against Pete Dunne. Now we know these two men couldn't stand each other. They've been on the precipice of each other's for a long time, and it had to come to an end. As you see, it started inside of a 15-foot solid steel cage. Tony D'Angelo versus Pete Dunne inside of a steel cage filled with weapons around the ring. D'Angelo and Pete Dunne just battling up Pete D'Angelo with a kendo stick. Now Pete Dunne, as well as Pete Dunne, D'Angelo with a superplex onto the cage. With Pete Dunne fighting off. And Pete Dunne with, I don't know, what is it? It looked like barbed wire or something. Well, it could be a hammer, I don't know. But at the end, Pete Dunne won. I guess he had some zip tied to him, and he won. And man, the Bruiserweight continued on winning, showing his dominance. And we'll tell you later on what the Bruiserweight's next goal might be. Speaking of that, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship was on the line. It's Toxic Attraction went against Indy Hartwell and we'll just say her tag team partner. Toxic Attraction, Indy Hartwell started off strong against Toxic Attraction doing a follow-away slam. Well, the man Rose watching, the lovely NXT Women's Champion watching, supporting her girls as Indy Hartwell tried to do a kick to one of the girls in Toxic Attraction. Gigi Hartwell even took Indy Hartwell down. And next thing you know, both women tried to run across each other, giving each other I forgot what that move called when you run to each other and then you fall down. But it happened. Indy Hartwell and her tag team partner took Gigi down. You see Gigi try to kick out his Indy and stuff. But at the end, Toxic Attraction won. Got the win. Toxic Attraction on the roll. Toxic Attraction could be on their way down the road. Speaking of that, LA Knight, who I could know as Eli Drake, he came out there and at the Grayson Walker told him about the restraining order. Grayson Walker made it clear that LA Knight touched him, he would be in trouble. LA Knight didn't pay no attention to it, no mind to it. Looked at the restraining order. LA Knight told him bad news that the restraining order was lifted because of some rule that LA Knight kind of loopholed, and he really don't have nothing. But we know next week that LA Knight will go against Grayson Walker in a match, 1-on-1. So we'll see on that going forward. Also, too, the second time match of the night was the NXT North American Championship, as the A champion dubbed himself. Carmelo Hayes, acting like Carmelo Anthony, went against Cameron Grimes in a good, intense matchup. I've been following Carmelo Hayes ever since he was Casanova something. I forgot, but he took it to Cameron Grimes in a phenomenal matchup. Even close. See Carmelo with a clothesline. Now Carmelo getting the upper hand, upper advantage right here with that forearm clothesline as well. And you can tell his buddy was at ringside. Carmelo took it to Cameron. Cameron Grimes took it, almost won the NXT championship with a crossbody, and did so. We forgot to show you that. And Carmelo hit the move that got the distraction to get him the win, with his buddy got laid out by Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes lost, but Carmelo Hayes picks up the win with Trick Williams by his side. So Carmelo Hayes, even too, Carmelo Hayes got walked above before what's his name? Pete Dunne. So Carmelo Hayes could be having a serious run against Pete Dunne for the North American title in the very near future. Also, too, the Dusty Rhodes Cup was online as MSK, who's been trying to be back on the road of recovery. You see right here, the Dusty Rhodes Classic, all these teams right here got through the finals, but at the end, MSK and the Creed brothers were the last four men, the last two teams to compete in the tournament to become Dusty winners. Could MSK become two-time Dusty Rhodes Classic winners? Only time will tell. But it was a phenomenal match, going back and forth with MSK trying to get the win, but at the end, the Creed brothers won. The Creed brothers won with nutrition and guidance from their manager, Stanley something, I forgot his name. But only time will tell on that one and see how far that goes. Speaking of the Creed brothers, they do get a tag team title shot in the very near future. And speaking of the tag team champions, Imperium was in the ring with their leader Gunter, who used to be called Walter, and now is totally different. Gunter came out there as who was Solo. He's part of the Usos. I know that. He called out Gunter and told him about himself and said, at least I know my folks, and we knew what that noise that was going on. So only time will tell. Gunter will meet that Uso dude down the road. Also, too, the NXT Championship match as Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar right here getting clothesline. He went against Braun Breaker. I think they're just doing that. I think Santos would make a great NXT champion with the Latin heritage and stuff coming forward. But he went against Braun Breaker. And Santos Escobar took it to Braun, and Braun took it to him. It was a competitive matchup between both men until Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa got involved in the latest and stuff. You have to wonder too when Braun did the superplex. He did the suplex, but Braun Breaker won. But this got to wonder what's next for Braun Breaker when you got Santos Escobar, Dolph Ziggler, and Tommaso Ciampa all want an NXT Championship match. I mean, you might well do a fatal four-way. That's what it kind of gonna look like for the NXT Stand and Deliver event. Coming in WrestleMania weekend. So I'm gonna tell them that. And too, we know that Raquel Gonzalez and Cole J form a team of friendship, and they will be part of the Women's Justice Club that will start next week. So look for these women to be taken seriously going forward. So, and plus too, NXT this week, 205 Live got replaced by NXT Level Up. So I guess they're saying anybody could be on Raw and SmackDown going forward if they level up for NXT. So we'll see. No 205 Live. WWE didn't make no announcement. 205 Live was in. It just said screw it. All right, that ends the NXT Ring Report right here. All right, let's move forward. Let's move forward quickly to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, what a shocker. We got breaking news to report that Cody Rhodes, the founding member of AEW, who wanted to start the revolution when he won the alternative with WWE, now has left AEW and could be heading to WWE in the very near future. This was kind of shocking, abrupt. No one didn't see this coming, but Cody Rhodes decided that he wanted to leave, and AEW tweeted out this, thanking Cody Rhodes and Brandy for their contributions to the company. And Cody Rhodes and Brandy are no longer executives in AEW. Brandy stepped down as her executive role as chief brand officer. That's going to Broly's widow, Amanda Hubert. Cody, who you could say he started AEW, he recruited in AEW. I mean, Cody Rhodes should be given credit to the success of AEW as he is now. No question about it. He found stars like MJF, Ricky Starks, stars that many people wasn't keeping their eye on, and made them household names. And Cody Rhodes does deserve that credit. Whatever he does, he's going to do it well. Right here, this picture about him doing a golden shovel. I hope he is saying he like Triple H, like very talent. But that's a possibility. But it's kind of shocking that Tony Khan decided that, I guess they said that Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes had a falling out, and we don't know what the falling out could have been. They saying it could have been they wanted more money, but Cody didn't. You wanted more. I can't blame Cody. I found all these stars for you. At least give me more money. And it's going to be different for them now coming tonight when they're going to be on Dynamite without Cody Rhodes. It's going to be really different. It's going to have a low morale without Cody and Brandy at least being there, being present. It's just a shock. And no one didn't see this coming. Now we know that Cody was working without a contract. We were thinking, oh, he's just going to wait and negotiate. But I look at this like a bad move for Tony Khan. Like, you're going to let Cody Rhodes go? And I get you, but Cody Rhodes, he was the most, everyone, to me, I don't get it, but we'll see as this progresses. But, I mean, Cody Rhodes started AEW. When you look at AEW, you think of Cody. But now they're talking about him going to WWE, and I'm kind of weary about that. Like, if he goes to WWE, if they're going to treat him the same, if they're going to look at him differently than they did before, like he left the first time, didn't get no result. What he expect going to be the second time around getting no result? No, I hope, to me, get creative control. That's on top. Like, they can't change it, put it in the contract. And also too, if you that good at recruiting stars like that and beating them, they need to have you like at least running NXT or something. You know, Cody has a very, very sound mind when it comes to finding and developing and recruiting new crop of wrestlers like MJF, Ricky Stark, um, people like that, Warlow. I mean, the list goes on and on. I just don't hope that WWE just don't screw this up if they do get him. And if I tell Cody, go for something that has eluded you, and I know what has eluded him. He wants to be the WWE champion or the Universal champion. Go for it. And I hope they just don't start out him going against Miz and Maurice and have him and Brandon. Oh God. But I don't know. It's kind of shocking because you didn't see this coming, but you know, you never know in the world of wrestling going forward. But we'll have more details later within the week of what's going on. As we can tell right here, Dustin Rhodes, he's staying in AEW, but he said Cody will see him down the road. Cody Rhodes really didn't have nothing on AEW on the bio. And they talking this super glue like Cody Rhodes rolling back into AEW. I mean, the pieces are mind-boggling, but I understand, and I hope Cody changes his mind before it's too late. Because you go to WWE, and they ain't gonna give you these promises. They're gonna give you false promises and really real promises. So you have to kind of go into it like a business deal. It's kind of hard to change Mr. McMahon's mind. I'll tell you that right now. But we wish Cody Rhodes and his lovely wife, Brandy, you know, the best, because this came out the blue. Cody Rhodes and Brandon Rhodes has left AEW. Man on me. Also, too, shocking news. Kurt Angle released that his brother Eric, who used to be in WWE storylines with him, saying his brother needs a organ donation, a kidney transplant, and they're looking for a match. And Eric Angle was a lot, but Kurt Angle looking for an organ donation. He no need to worry. You go out there, if Kurt Angle puts it out there, somebody's gonna answer the call. So we hope him and his brother are doing well in their endeavors. Also, too, we found out that Kevin Owens could be potentially wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin, if that is a possibility. Will Stone Cold come out of retirement to fight Kevin Owens for calling out he hate everything in Texas? Only time will tell on that, but Stone Cold Steve Austin may be appearing at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas to confront Kevin Owens. But you know what? Do like they did when Stone Cold did Piper's Pit, where it was like a confrontation. Have Kevin Owens do a live KO show at WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin as his special guest. And Stone Cold just stuns him and leaves the Texas crowd happy. He ain't got to be in no match. Just say Stone Cold gonna be on the KO show at WrestleMania. And leave it like that. Also, too, I've been watching MLW, and we know that at first it was a hateful relationship between Lisa Cap and Richard Holiday. But they in serious in love after Richard Holiday turned his back on his friend Hammerstone, stabbed him in the back, and now he's in cahoots with Lisa Holiday. Now they was kissing and they was, you know, embracing each other. I kind of knew they had something like some chemistry there. It was just there. It was just, you can tell when people have chemistry. It's just there. But Alicia too and Richard Holiday will know sometime this week, probably tomorrow on Fusion, on what the update is going on with these two lovebirds. I know they spent Valentine's Day together, but I'm going to end it with this: Cody with the golden shovel, leaving AEW, and could be heading to the possibly. So for me being Kendrick Dick saying so long, and we'll see you for the AEW ring report, and we might get more details on this matter with Cody Rhodes and Brandon leaving AEW. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you tonight on the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.